Welcome to Tracking the Week. On Monday, President Bola Tinubu called on Governor Siminalayi Fubara, political leaders and their supporters in Rivers State to exercise restraint and uphold the rule of law. In response to recent tensions following last Saturday's local government council election, the president expressed deep concern over reports of arson and explosions in the state. Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor, Information and Strategy, in a statement said the president also urged all political actors to de-escalate the situation and discourage their supporters from engaging in violence or destructive actions. Onanuga said President Tinubu directed the police to restore and maintain peace, law and order immediately, while instructing law enforcement agencies to bring the situation under control. The president emphasized the need to ensure the security of public institutions. He said President Tinubu said government facilities built with public funds must be safeguarded from vandalism, stressing that self-help has no place in a democratic system, especially after 25 years of continuous democracy. The president said the judiciary can settle all political disputes and the outcome of the election should be no exception. Also on Monday, the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporations and Government-Owned Companies, an affiliate of the Trade Union Congress representing employees of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, has initiated an indefinite strike due to unresolved promotion controversies and welfare concerns. The decision to strike comes after multiple meetings with NAFDAC management yielded no positive outcome regarding critical issues affecting staff. The aggrieved workers expressed that their grievances have now been addressed, prompting the drastic action. According to the communique issued on October 4, 2024, the workers outlined several key issues that remained unresolved. The communique emphasized that the Congress, after thorough discussion, unanimously resolved to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike across all NAFDAC formation, commencing Monday, 7 October 2024. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court fixed October 22 for the hearing of a suit filed by no fewer than 16 state governments challenging the constitutionality of the laws establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and two others. A 7-man panel of justice led by Justice Uwani Abba Aji fixed the date after the states were joined by co-plaintiff and leave granted for consolidation of the case in suit originally filed by the Kogi state government through its Attorney General. Correspondent Kolujo reported that the states that joined in the suit include Ondo, Edo, Oyo, Ogun, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Katsina, Sokoto, Jigawa, Enugu, Benue, Anambra, Plateau, Cross River, and Niger. The 16 states are relying on the fact that the Constitution is a supreme law, and any law that is inconsistent with it is a nullity. The plaintiff argued that the Supreme Court in Dr. Joseph Nwobike v. Federal Republic of Nigeria has held it was a United Nations Convention against corruption that was reduced into the FCC Establishment Act, and that in enacting this law in 2004, the provision of Section 12 of the 1999 Constitution as amended was not followed. Also on Tuesday, Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court Abuja declared Dola Sabore as a substantive chairman of the Labour Party. Delivering judgment, Justice Nwite affirmed the Abure-led leadership and the March 2024 Nilwe Convention that produced the national leadership. Justice Nwite further ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to recognize Abure as the legitimate chairman, overriding the Commission's earlier stance that Abure leadership was invalid. The court urged that the defendant's attempt to impeach the validity of the leadership of the plaintiff fails, adding that the plaintiff has proved this case. Justice Nwite issued an order compelling the defendants to accord the plaintiff political party under the leadership of Barrister Julius Abure all the rights and privileges accorded the political party duly registered in Nigeria. INEC had argued that the Labour Party's National Convention violated the Nigerian Constitution and Electoral Act, and that the party failed to meet legal requirements for holding the convention. On Wednesday, the Senate had declared its support for the judgment of the Supreme Court, which granted total autonomy to local government councils in Nigeria. At the regional plenary of the Senate on Wednesday, the upper chamber deliberating that the motion has moved a development that forced the plenary into a closed session. After the executive session of the House, the Senate came up with two prayers and declared its total support for the judgment of the Supreme Court regarding autonomy of local government. The two prayers, which were approved by the lawmakers, lawmaker were that all the tiers of government in the country should comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court on local government autonomy. Also, the Senate also declared its readiness to tinker with the necessary sections of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in order to give birth to the autonomy of local government councils in Nigeria. Still on Wednesday, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited raised its pump price of petrol in Abuja by 14.8% to 1,030 naira per litre from 897 naira it originally sold the product. The latest price increase makes it the second time petrol price had been hiked in the past 1 month. The company had in September increased pump price from 650 naira per litre to 897 naira. Correspondent in Abuja, Ken Abuja, who visited one of NNPC's retail mega station in Abuja, where the price increase had been effected, reported that the new pump price shocked motorists, who lamented the continuing hardship the hike in petrol prices cost the country. He also reported that some of the residents who had been in queue for almost several hours said they didn't know they had increased the price. The Tinubu-led administration seemed not concerned about the hardship and suffering the citizens are going through. On Thursday, the federal government declared that it has put in place approximate measures to simplify tax remittance process in the country. The Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Maidena, and the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zaka Adedeji, gave the assurance at the stakeholder meeting in Abuja. The stakeholder meeting, organized by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, brought together Accountant General from over 30 states of the Federation. Addressing the participant, the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zaka Adedeji, disclosed the government has initiated necessary measures to simplify tax remittance process, particularly through the centralized payment system, where Office of Accountant General of the Federation owed payment on behalf of government agencies. Still on Thursday, the Court of Appeal Abuja Division affirmed Martin Amayule as the recognized Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. A three-member panel of the Court of Appeal, in a unanimous judgment, dismissed the appeal filed by Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara for lacking in merit. Correspondent Kalojo reported that the court in Abuja said Fubara had no basis to bring out the appeal, having withdrawn his opposition to the case of the pro-Wike lawmakers of the Federal High Court. Justice Joseph Olubunmi Kayode Oyewole, who delivered the lead judgment, held that the governor, having withdrawn from the case, cannot claim to be aggrieved with the judgment of the Federal High Court. Consequently, the Court of Appeal barred Fubara from intervening with affairs of the House of Assembly under the control of the Speaker. The Appellate Court also barred him from withholding the House of Assembly fund and removing the clerk and deputy clerk from the House. Similarly, the Court of Appeal ordered him to represent the budget of the state of the House under the recognized Speaker, as contained in the judgment of Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court. On Friday, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, declared the market forces would stabilize the price of fuel soon. Akpabio, who made the declaration while speaking with Senate correspondent, urged market forces on the regulation of which, according to him, would not lead to significant increase in fuel price. Correspondent Kolojo reported that Akpabio explained that the removal of the petroleum subsidy is a necessary step to redirect funds to more critical areas. He spoke in response to a question on the recent fuel prices by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Akpabio stated that the removal of subsidy would mean that Nigerians would need to tighten their belts. He added that an increase in product availability would eventually lead to lower prices. Lastly, on Friday, Vice President Kashim Shettima inaugurated the National Road Safety Advisory Council, NARSAC, with the charge on members to align with global best practices in reducing traffic crashes. He therefore tasked the Council to set national road safety strategy targets and ensure effective coordination between federal, state and local government to achieve shared road safety objectives. Speaking during the ceremony at the Presidential Villa Abuja, Vice President Shettima emphasized the critical nature of road safety, stating road safety is not merely a matter of policy but a critical part of the lifeline that connects the people to this nation. Earlier in his remark, the Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, who is also Secretary to the Advisory Council, said the inauguration of the body opens a new vista in road safety management in Nigeria, including fast-track and implementation of the Nigeria Road Safety Strategy, which is the country's response to the call for safe use of the road. And that's it from Track in the Week.